Good morning, grade 9. Today we'll step into the next topic, that is your cell division stages. Last video we saw the what do you mean by cell division, and in which cells and all we can able to see the cell divisions. Okay, and now we'll move on to the cell division and its stages. So in simple term, how we can able to define cell division? Cell will divide into two, will get two cells. That is only simple definition for cell divisions. And cell division will occur in all living organisms, and it will occur often or continuously. It will occur in some of the cells like your gut cells, your skin cells or epithelial cells, and it never or rarely occur in the heart muscle cells and the brain nerve cells. That also we learn, and we learn the definition for diploid and haploid. So now we'll move on to the cell division and its stages. Okay, now look at the slide. We know all living cells come from other living cells only. So meaning automatically it is coming from other living cells, means it should undergo divisions. From that only we can able to get other living cells. And during mitosis, what will happen actually? We know the cell will contain the nucleus. So the nucleus of the cell will divide and it will form two nuclei. Got it? So we know the cell will contain nuclei. The nuclei or nucleus. Okay, the nucleus means the general term. So the nucleus will undergo division first and it will form two nuclei. If two nuclei is there, obviously we'll get a two nucleus. Why? We know the hero of the cell is nucleus. If nucleus will divide, we'll get a two nuclei. Nuclei means singular. We'll get a two nuclei means the two nuclei will independently will act as a separate cells. So automatically from that we'll get a two cells. Why? Nucleus will call it as the hero of the cells. It will give commands. So automatically the cell started to produce all those necessary organelles and also protein, carbohydrate, fat, whatever the cell needs, the cell started to synthesize itself. Clear, children? So here during mitosis, now look at the slide. During mitosis, the nucleus of the cell divides, forming a two nuclei with identical genetic informations. For example, what do you mean by identical genetic information? If a nuclei will divide into two, means the nucleus what it will contain only, it will goes to the two nuclei also. So automatically the two nuclei will get the same genetic information what the parent cell will have. So that is the thing we are call it as identical genetic informations. Next, these only you want to practice also, you want to learn also. So this is very, very important. Till now we are familiar with the outline of what is mitosis. Now we want to go into a very detailed account of the mitosis. Clear, children? Now look at the slide. Mitosis produces two genetically identical cells. What do you mean by genetically identical cells? Because it is coming from the same nucleus. So what the nucleus will have, it will pass on to the two nuclei. It will pass on to the daughter cells. So automatically what the parent cell will have, automatically will pass to the daughter cells or the next generation cells. Clear? So that is only we call it as two genetically identical cells. And here mitosis refer to into the following stages like prophase. First stage is prophase, second stage is metaphase, anaphase and telophase. Okay, prophase, metaphase, anaphase and telophase. So these are the stages where the nucleus will divide. Okay, where the nucleus will divide. Normally whatever the procedure, we want to go step by step. So continuously the cell will undergo prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase, and it started to produce two cells from a single cells. So we want to see in a detail. So prophase, phase means stage. Prophase means stage begins or before stage. Okay, and metaphase means that all chromosomes will comes and occupy in the center of the cell. Anaphase means they'll move on to the opposite direction. Telophase means we'll get two cells. That is only we'll call it as four stages. Now I'll explain with the help of the diagram. Now come to the first one. Okay, this is the parent cell. Okay, this is the parent cell. This parent cell, Okay, this is the parent cell. Okay, clear children? So now look at the cell. Okay, the cell might be a plant cell or animal cells. Whatever the cell, the same procedure only will take place even in some plant cells, animal cells, even in human beings also. So we want to see only the outline of how the cell will divide. So you don't want to confuse whether the plant cell will undergo different or animal cell. All cells will undergo same division only. There are slight variation will be that you will learn in your higher studies. Clear children? Now come and look at the first picture. Okay, first one, this is the parent cell. Now outer line is their plasma membrane. Center we can see all the cell organelles. It was given as a dotted line, and the very center we can see the nucleus, and the nucleus was covered by the nuclear membrane. The black color, no, the black color we can call it as the nuclear membrane. The black color we call it as nuclear membrane. Even the nuclear membrane, while explaining the nucleus, I told the nuclear membrane has so many pores or so many opening to communicate with the cytoplasm, and center we can see a blue color, a red color line, that is only we'll call it as chromatin. Okay, chromatin network. Why we are not calling as chromosomes, why we are call it as chromatin network means before cell division we used to call the chromosome as chromatin network. Why? It is like a thin thread only. It is not that much solid piece because it is a parent cell only. While going division only, it will contents and the structure of the chromatin network will change. While changing the structures only, we'll call it as a chromosomes. Clear children? Now the cell is there. Center we can see the nucleus, and the nucleus is covered by the nuclear membrane, and the nucleus contains a chromatin network. The blue and red line will call it as the chromatin network. Okay, now this is the parent cell. Now this parent cell will undergo divisions. How it will undergo divisions means, now see the length of the blue color and red color line. These will call it as chromatin network. And normally when cells will undergo division means the cell itself, it will take so much of nutrients from the cytoplasm, and it started to have more chromatin material in it. If it is have more, automatically what we can see, the chromatin network, it will contains, because two nuclei should be in the same nucleus for some time. So the length of the chromatin network will become condensed. Condensed means it will get constricted, and automatically length of the chromatin network will be reduced. Once it's reduced, the length of the chromatin network will reduce. That time only we'll call it as chromosomes. Now look at the second stage, prophase. Okay, first stage only. This is a parent cell, chromatin network like a thin thread. Okay, and it started to take more material from the cytoplasm, and it started to induce so much of material, and automatically the chromatin network, thin like thread like substance, it will condense, and you will get a thick structures. The thick structures only will call it as chromosomes. Now look at that, the single red line become doubled here. Okay, single red line become double, even the single blue line become double. So the doubling structures after the condensation will call it as the chromosomes. Okay, the doubling the structures. Now look at the prophase picture alone. We can see double the structure of chromatin network. So it is condensed, it is stout when compared to chromatin network. This is chromatin network. When compared to chromatin network, it is stout. Okay, so that stout structure having a two chromatin network together, will call it as the chromosomes. Is it clear, children? So what is first stage? First stage is prophase. Here what will happen in prophase? Chromatin network will condense. Condense spelling CONDENSES. Condense into chromosome. That is the first stage. Clear, children? So prophase is the first stage of mitosis, where chromatin network will condense and it will form a chromosomes. Is it clear, children? And this is the prophase. Now the two sets is ready. Now come to the metaphase. This is the second stage. We'll call it as metaphase. Okay, first stage we saw, second stage is metaphase. Metaphase, what will happen? The chromosomes all they come and sit in the center of the cell. Okay, come and sit in the center of the cell. So we'll call it as chromosomes arrange at chromosomes arrange or chromosomes align at the equatorial plane. They all come and sit in the center of the cell. So that is only we'll call it as metaphase. Metaphase means they all will come and sit in the middle of the cell. So that will call it as the metaphase. Now clear, no? Prophase, chromatin network become chromosome is prophase. Metaphase, the chromosomes all will come and sit in the middle of the cell. That is only we'll call it as metaphase. And third stage is anaphase. Anaphase means the center of all the chromosomes, one fiber will be present. That fiber will call it as spindle fiber. Okay, that these, no, this is these line only will call it as fiber. That fiber will call it as spindle fibers. Okay, spindle, spindle fiber, you know the spelling. The spindle fiber, what it will do, it used to pull both the chromosomes. When it started to pull, automatically the chromosomes started to separate with each other, and these two sets will settle down in the two opposite directions. These phase will call it as anaphase. Now look at the third stage, anaphase. The chromosomes, here the chromosomes, it was pulled by the spindle fiber. So one set will occupy in the one corner, another set will occupy in the other corner. And this is, we'll call it as anaphase. So how we can define anaphase? Third stage of mitosis. Here, sister chromatids. Why we are called as sister chromatids? Because from that chromosomes, the two chromosomes will have two structures. This is the structure of chromosome, children. This is the structure of chromosomes. So these two will call it as sister chromatids. These two will call it as sister chromatids. So both the sister chromatids will settle down in the opposite directions. That is the third stage, we'll call it as anaphase. Next, come to fourth stage, telophase. Here telophase means once these chromatids will settle down in the two corner of the cells, automatically we can see the formation of new nuclear membrane around the chromatids. Now the chromatids again become chromatin. And from that we'll get a two daughter cells. Clear, children? So these are the four stages of mitosis. Your parent cell is here having chromatin network surrounded by the nuclear envelope. Once the chromatin network started to condense itself, the nuclear envelope will disappear. Here there is no nuclear envelope. Here there is no nuclear envelope. So once it started, automatically the nuclear envelope, this is the nuclear envelope, it started to disintegrate. It started to remove, or it started to disappear. Okay, so prophase, what will happen? The chromatin network will condense with each other and they will become a chromosomes. Metaphase, all the chromosomes will arrange in the equatorial plate. Third stage, anaphase, the sister chromatids will move to the opposite directions. What will happen in anaphase? Sister chromatids will move to the opposite directions. And fourth stage, telophases. So here we can see the formation of one cell wall. Okay, formation of cell wall, and we can see the formation of nuclear membrane again. Okay, so afterwards we'll get a two cells. So with that, mitosis will complete. So like that, this process will continue to form so many cells. So from one parent cells we are getting two parent cells. This is only, we'll call it as mitosis. Clear, children? And here you want to remember two more technical terms. Karyokinesis, K-A-R-Y-O, karyokinesis, K-I-N-E-S-I-S. Karyokinesis means division of nucleus. So all these three stages are division of nucleus. So these will call it as karyokinesis. And afterwards, here again they need cytoplasm also, no. So they'll share cytoplasm also, and we can see formation of cell plate or cell wall, or formation of plasma membrane together. So that will call it as cytokinesis. Cytokinesis. So this alone will call it as cytokinesis. So mitosis has 4 stages: prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase. Prophase, metaphase, anaphase, these 3 stages comes under karyokinesis. What do you mean by karyokinesis? Splitting of nucleus. 4th stage, telophase, it comes under cytokinesis, where they will share even cytoplasm also, and we can see the cell plate or cell wall or plasma membrane formation. That's all about the mitosis, children. Next class we'll see only one slide is left over, meiosis. With that, our chapter is going to end. Is it clear, children? Thank you.